What does the future of my hockey career look like? This is a question I see a lot, and a question that I'm going to try to answer to the best of my abilities in this video, as well as take you along for a business trip and a surprise trip back to Winnipeg to see my mom, a staycation here in Vancouver, all this and more. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's begin.
At the end of the day, I'm doing what feels right for me and chasing down my dream.
So it's a sunny morning here in Vancouver. I'm heading to the rink to work with one of my goalie coaches, Brad Sherwin, to refine a couple basic fundamentals. And a few of you will ask here, where is Pascal, my primary goalie coach? Well, he tore his bicep a few weeks ago, so you're not going to see him and I on the ice together for quite a bit, but I'm in pretty good hands with Brad, as he is Pascal's assistant, while Pascal's getting better and recovering.
My fault. It'll go to the corner, but what it won't do is elevate. So what you want to do is elevate the puck, right? But if you got your stick in front of you and you go like that, now it's going to elevate, right? There you go. That's money.
I could almost get this totally sealed up at the beginning of the season.
So when are you going to get the other hip done?
Get surgeons after baby. I don't know what I want to do. I want to prove that I can play in the Fed so badly.
Yeah.
And that's my ego.
Because the challenge that you had was you're sinking down, right? Taking your hands out of the way, and that's why you're getting beat so much.
The problem at this point isn't a matter of can I play, because preseason game 1 on 11.
Yeah.
Regular game 2 on 13. I'm playing well.
Yeah.
Mississippi game kind of tough to judge because of the defense.
Yeah.
But now it's...
And that's the problem, is you get in there from one of those independently owned teams, you do your thing, and then all of a sudden, does the league come down on them? Does something happen?
No snow sounds pretty good.
But at least you're in Spain. Yeah, that would be nice.
Mamacita.
I want a couple more at your face, though.
Just you and the rest of the internet getting lined up.
After the skate, I headed back home and then headed out down towards Broadway, towards my Muay Thai studio. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been training here on and off for about a year, and I absolutely love combat sports. I absolutely recommend anybody give it a try, learn to fight, get punched in the face, and deal with a little bit of adversity. It is a great change of pace compared to the years I've spent training in for hockey. I've been posting my hockey journey and my story through my own personal hockey career on YouTube for probably close to coming up on a decade now. But my goal was always to try to help people to understand that there's a lot of adversity in the world, especially in hockey. I go through it, you go through it, everybody goes through it. All we can do is use it to make ourselves better. My NHL dream went out the window well over a decade ago, longer than a decade. When I was 10 years old, my dad took me out of school early, going to skate during school hours. That was my dream, to play hockey during school hours. At the time, I thought you could only do it 2 days a week. Now I realize you can do it 5 to 7 days a week through pro hockey. I get to live this dream every single day. In this world, you can really accomplish anything if you put your mind to it. I'm headed to Toronto the end of June, beginning of July for, I think, 5 or 6 days. I'm going to go hang out with Matt Murray for a few, and we're going to shoot the podcast we've been talking about, him and I have been talking about doing for a while. It's on the Biscuit podcast page, either here or there, one of the two. And I'm also working on the Grand Railway Hotel series, which I've been talking about lots. I also sent a message to Casimir Kaskasulia the other day, trying to see if he would come on the podcast. But I am very, very excited for the next chapter, to see what the future holds. New culture, new life, new style, new league, new everything. And I'm very, very much looking forward to that. And now a word from today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. I have been on a self-improvement journey like never before in my life, and that all started when I began my therapy journey with BetterHelp. Starting therapy to address a lot of the cycles and the habits that I built up in my childhood has been game-changing. Professional hockey is a complete up and down roller coaster of emotions, and they call it the show business for a reason. So getting therapy to undo a lot of these habits I've built over the past 27 years has been incredibly helpful. BetterHelp aims to make therapy affordable and accessible in a way it's never been done before. So by answering a few simple questions on their questionnaire, they'll pair you with the perfect therapist to start your healing journey today. And you can access it via your phone or your laptop, wherever you are in the world. And right now, you can get 10% off BetterHelp.com when you go to BetterHelp.com/TravSucks. Again, that's 10% off your first month. You can also use the promo code TravSucks, and you can start your healing journey today. I want to say thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video and ultimately helping me to improve myself, to be the best version of myself that I can be. Thank you so much, BetterHelp. Now, I've mentioned my upcoming series in the Grand Railway Hotels of Canada a lot this summer, so here's a little taste. I did a staycation at the Hotel Vancouver for one night with Bella, and the Hotel Vancouver is absolute luxury at its finest, and lived up to expectations being the castle in the city. We had dinner later that night at the Notch 8 restaurant, which Notch 8 is actually the full throttle mode on all trains, which is a cool little tie into the railway, but these hotels are loaded with stories like that, and never-ending history, but this is a theme here you'll see throughout the series. All the restaurants in these hotels are absolutely top-notch, and my foie gras tonight did not disappoint, and Bella's chicken fingers included. And after that... Cannonball! The next morning greeted us with a beautiful sunrise over Vancouver's most iconic hotel, and after a pit stop at the breakfast buffet, which was actually included in our hotel reservation, we checked out, headed out of the hotel, and back home. And for those curious, the full-length video on the Hotel Vancouver will be coming out in July. Let's roll out. This morning, I'm heading back to Winnipeg for a short business trip as well as some quality time with my mom, which is actually on brand because this video is going to be going up on Mother's Day on Sunday, and she actually has no idea about it, which we'll address more towards the end of the video. And after I spent a few hours in the Maple Leaf Lounge, I would board my flight out of Vancouver, over the Rockies, and into Calgary for a quick layover again in the Maple Leaf Lounge here. I'll be honest, the food didn't look so great, but the sunset was pretty nice on the other hand. After that, I'd board my flight back to Winnipeg. About to start recording the show. Dave brought a guest in for today.
That leg twitch will turn into a full gallop in the middle of the night, and she'll hammer on the wall like she's running in her sleep and snores. It's unbelievable.
One thing I don't really talk too much about is the business side of working on the podcast and the vlog, getting videos up, getting the show up, while also playing hockey, summer training, last season working on the hip surgery rehab, or just the day-to-day life of just being a person. I mean, Dave's had kind of a little bit of an interesting look into that for like post-retirement. This is my biggest baby, is the podcast. I'm talking about doing a Grand Railway Hotel series across Canada, which I'm touring across Canada, telling the history of the Grand Railway Hotels and the stories of the cities that are in. If you're not into that, cool. If you are, check it out when it comes out because it's going to be a really awesome series. But these are all things that are ideas for retirement when I'm done hockey, because there's a certain shelf life. I don't want to end up like most hockey players. I don't really have any cash flows coming in. I don't really have any business endeavors, and try to get ahead on that curve so that you hit the ground running. It's a transition of about a year and a half, if that. As time goes on more and more and more, I sort of realize how smart Dave is and how much he actually really truly brings to the table, not just on the show, but outside of the show. You make me a better man every single time we talk about hard shit, especially after a breakup for 2 months. We're back.
Right. We were on a break.
Quick little business trip in to see mom and ready for next season. So as promised, the main reason behind this trip, and a slight teaser behind the Railway Hotel series in Winnipeg, was this trip that I was taking with my mom for her birthday, and also the upcoming Mother's Day celebration. And my mom really doesn't get a lot of experiences like this, so it's really cool to be able to share that with her. But the coolest thing was dinner. We ate in this restaurant that's been here for over 110 years and basically been restored to its original design. We got scallops to start, mom went with the meatloaf for dinner, I went with the braised beef chuck, and for the dessert, we both had carrot cake cheesecake, and we were absolutely stuffed. So I was off to bed. And after that, the next morning, we got treated to an incredible prairie sunrise. I talk about this a lot in the videos. I'm a very patriotic Manitoban, in case you can't tell. But prairie sunrises literally cannot be beat, and they are truly special. And after that, we got a little bit of room service coffee. That morning cup of Joe hit. Mom and I checked out the hotel. I headed down to the Winnipeg airport and headed back home to Vancouver. If you're a regular viewer of this vlog, I know you've been used to regular Sunday uploads for the last couple of years. The vlog will not have regular uploads every Sunday, probably until about the end of June, but my podcast, Selling the Biscuit, which you can check out here, will continue every single Sunday until then. If you need anything, you can always hit me up on Instagram. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, mine included, and I'll see you next time.